This is Reboot Your Life. Get ready for a life worth living. And I will just be taking you through everything. This is the introduction, and I will start from here. So I just want to say a really big welcome to everyone. Really happy to have you all here. I know your time is as precious as mine, but for me, I've made this an investment, and I really wanted to put this out to help us all, including myself. So if you don't know me, I don't think there's really many people here who don't know me already. So my name is Tokunbo, and I'm an empowerment life guide, but I also have what I call my income job, and I'm a senior employment advisor. I'll be giving a talk in 2 weeks' time around that area, so I'm quite excited about that. I will, if you're following me and anyone's interested, it's really targeted. I'm not even sure if it's really targeted at the UK, but yeah. But so, yes, I've been in the personal development industry for well over 20 years. I literally started off in Nigeria, and that's what got me into this space. And so for the past 20 years, I've actually been building and learning and, falling flat on my face and getting up again and just I just keep myself going. And it has brought me to this point. Probably, God give me life, 5 years time, I might be singing a new song, but this is the song for today. And so for you that don't know me, what I've been doing, I run a women's community. I started Women Elevating Women about in 2015. And we are now literally 2021 will put us in our 7th year. It's a community that I must say I have learned a lot, and it has also been part of what has brought me to this stage, to this point in my life. Without Women Elevating Women and what I was doing, I probably might not know as much as I do that I will be sharing with you tonight. So it's just been that learning process of getting things done and not giving up. In spite of everything that I'd seen, if there's something about me is that I just never give up. I just keep on going. For me, I believe that life is, if you're still here, there's still something that you can do to make that change. So that's who I am. So like I said, my name is Tokunbo. I'm an empowerment life guide. I also am a senior employment advisor. I'm based in the UK. I'm a mom. Unfortunately, recently widowed, well, over a year plus now, widowed. I've got 3 children. Well, I've got 2 men and 1 child. So yeah, so about 3. What else is it about me? So yeah, I love inspiring people. I've identified that is my area of calling. And I love to inspire people. I love to motivate people. I just believe that everyone has they have something within that they can actually use to elevate themselves. And that's probably why Women Elevating Women is called Women Elevating Women. So at the end of the day, I'm here today to share with you what I have learned in the past 20 years that I believe will be helpful in the areas of life and business. So basically, my role today, the reason why I'm called a guide is that I've noticed that if I use the word coach, I will actually be limiting myself in helping people the way that I know I can. And when I look at everything I do a bit of coaching, I do a bit of mentoring, I do a bit of training, I do a bit of advising. And the word that really kept on jumping out to me was the role of a guide. And I would say one thing, I don't know everything, but what I do know, I am always happy to share with anyone who would listen. And so for me, the reason why I chose life and business was that I have come to discover in my 20 years plus being in business is that you can't separate the two. Whatever is affecting you in your personal life would affect your business. And for some of you, you are here, you might not have a business, or you've had a business in the past, or you are thinking of starting a business. And for some of you, it's nothing to do with business. Your part is I just want to do life better. So some of you might be working, in an office. This is also for you. But because I talk about life and business, it's, an area that I believe everyone should, at least learn about. For me now, I strongly believe that everyone could do with learning about business. It doesn't matter if you don't want to go into business now, you feel that you don't want to do business. I really do recommend it. If anything, if there's anything that's taught us anything, it is the fact that when this pandemic hit, so many people all over the world have lost their jobs and lost their sources of income. The second thing I want to talk about is also technology. We can no longer, before we could run away from technology, now we can no longer run away from technology. Everything that I've done here is all about technology, putting the slides together, sending out the emails, setting it up as an autoresponder. All these things, I remember when I first started learning them in 2011, I would never have thought that I would get to this place. But there was a first time for me. The first time I started blogging, the first time I built a website, all these activities. But when I look at my life, it actually goes as far back as to 1990, when I did my youth service back in Nigeria. And I'm going to share this story very quickly for us to understand that there is nothing in your life that would not be useful somewhere along the line. What do I mean? Now, in 1990, I got the opportunity to work with a really good company. I was doing my youth service. I was sent to this oil company in Nigeria. And the department that they sent me to said that they need someone who can use the computer. Now, really, 1990, how many people can use the computer in 1990? Very few. You probably meet people who would say, what's a computer, as at that time, but I remember the man, I looked at the man and I said, oh, I can learn it in a week. And he went like, what? And he said, okay, if you can learn it in a week. I had no clue what I was even saying. He said, if you can learn it in a week, then I will hire you into this department. And so I went away and then had to tell one of my cousins what I had done. And he was like, oh, okay. And he said, I got a friend that can teach you. Anyway, the friend taught me. I met the friend, he taught me, and he taught me really well because I ended up marrying him. And he was my husband. We had 3 kids together. But yeah, that was how I met my husband. It was learning how to use the computer. But I remember going back a week later and I said to the gentleman, I said the supervisor, I said, I've learned how to use the computer. I said, no, you haven't. Nobody learns how to use the computer in a week. He said, but I like your guts and I'm going to actually hire you. And they put me in that department. They put me behind the computer. I fiddled around for a few weeks, but then I got it. And that was my journey into the world of technology. And it has brought me to where I am today. The amount of things that I can do on the computer has opened up this world, has opened up, during the season of the pandemic that people are struggling. And I'm not, saying that, I'm better off, but it's just that skill that I had learned at that time is now very useful. And I've just kept on, putting more fire onto things, learning how to do so many other things, how to blog, how to do, how to design posts and all that. And that has brought me where I am today. So that is who I am. Like I said, there's part of me that people don't know, and there's parts of me that people do know. So that's the part of me that people might not know. So I'm going to go on. So why am I running this course? I studied business, administration, meaning that I should know everything you need to know about business and how running a business or managing a business, more about managing a business. I should be great at it. Unfortunately, when it comes to entrepreneurship, most especially, there's nothing they teach you at school that is going to be relevant. Well, I can't say nothing, but I'm telling you, it's much smaller than you expect. There's a lot more to running a business. There's a lot more to, making profit and all that. There's a lot more to it. But also, on the flip side of it, as we all know, because all of us might not run a business, but every one of us are doing life. There is no one here that is not doing life. Everyone is here. And if you look back, I don't think I have anyone here who's younger than 19. You know, my daughter said she wanted to join, but she would join next week. She's 14. I'm still thinking about that because we are already kind of doing some sessions ourselves. But we've all done life. We are all doing life. And if we look back, very few of us were actually really, really prepared for life. Very few of us. We had to, you know, stumble along, you know, and try and figure things out. And if you look at that, a lot of us trying to figure life out, even the people that seemed as if they were successful at figuring life out, storms of life will come and the person who was up there suddenly found themselves down here. And I've experienced it personally. There was a time my husband was working in a company that anyone would want to work in. And then suddenly, boom, we're at the bottom of the ladder. But I can tell you one thing, that bottom of the ladder, oh my gosh, I learned so much more at the bottom of the ladder than I did at the top. And it's gave me the muscles and has helped me to navigate life's challenges. I probably would not have understood as much at that time period if we had not gone through what we went through. And part of it is my own foundation. So the reason why I'm running this course is to get you ready for life and business. Really get you ready. Let's let's go back and look at our foundations, what we can do differently. And I said, you know what, this is not about me making money. This is about me putting this training on for anyone who wants to attend. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I have, seen so many courses that I would like to do. And sometimes it's the money that would, I won't say put me off, but it's just not affordable at the time. And so I've put this course together. It doesn't matter how much money you've got. It doesn't matter how much money you haven't got. This particular course, I'm believing that it will always be free. I'm looking at it to run it every year. And every year you can come back and be a part of it. Because I want to believe that each year there might be something added to it or something different. I don't know that, but I'm just speculating and believing that this course will just keep on getting better and better and give people the opportunity to kind of navigate life better based on what I have learned myself. So that's the reason why I'm running the course. And I would say my top 2 reasons, as I've said here, is to support you on your life and or business journey, but also is the foundation course to my Life as It Can Be program. Now, my Life as It Can Be program is, this was what I was actually working on. I was working on this for the past 2 years. And I remember, like I said, this event is not a Christian event, but you might hear me say God. It's because I've learned that I can't separate what God is doing in my life from who I am. So I do apologize if you're not a Christian. This is not a Christian event. I do have a Christian event that I run, but this one is not it. But when I talk to people, even in my Women Elevating Women community, it's not a Christian community, but I came out last year and I said to the women, if I'm going to be really authentic, if I'm going to help you, I have to come out as me, because there's a lot of things in my life that I have connected to God. And so for me, when I started working on Life as It Can Be early 2019, my word to God was, Lord, if I'm going to do this and put this together, let me be my first client. And I must say that between that time, 2019, 2020, he was just taking me through this. And I will show you a tiny little bit of a glimpse of this program. Now, this Life as It Can Be program, it's not free. It's not a free program. So, but when I put it together, I really believed in 2020 that I was going to bring this training out, this Life as It Can Be, I was going to bring it out January 2021. I had, put everything together. I was ready until I really got, sitting down, reflecting, looking at all. And I said, no, there is something before Life as It Can Be. Because what I've seen, and I've shared this at one of my events last year, I talked about the 6-7 figure phenomenon. And what did I talk about? As we know, especially us in the coaching and, consulting and training and all kinds of industry, we know that one of the big things that they're using to catch people now is, I can help you make money. Making money is one of the biggest things that we all want. We need money. We want money. We desire money, whatever name we want to call it. And at the end of the day, they would say, you will see some of them say, I can help you make 6 figures. I can help you make 7 figures. And if you have the money, you will pay. And I've seen so many people come away. I remember being, in a group on Facebook, a coaching group, and somebody asked the question, how much have you paid for a coaching session? And I was blown away. People, 20,000, 50,000, 10,000, 5,000 pounds or dollars, and they were just putting in these big numbers. And they asked them, what had it done for you? And Benny said, oh, it was rubbish. It was this. They gave all kinds of reasons. It didn't work for me. It didn't do that. And that's really what got me started to think, why didn't it work? Now, I can tell you, for some people, the coach that they went to meet was not really able to get them where they want to go. But I will also tell you there's another group of people. And for me, I like using analogies, which is, for example, you have a child in nursery school, maybe a 5-year-old, and suddenly the teacher comes into class and comes with this big textbook from a university lecture and say, this is what we are going to do today. Can you imagine? The little child, will first look at the teacher. I don't even think the child will even understand what the teacher is saying in the first place to even acknowledge what the teacher is saying or make a response, because it's not a teddy bear. It's not a duck. It's not, a little wiggly thing that a child would be able to identify. This is a big, huge textbook, and the teacher said, we're going to study it today. Of course, it's not even humanly possible. And that's exactly what's happening in a lot of people's lives. So many people in their personal life and in their business life are still little kids. They're still babies. And I'm not saying this in any kind of disrespect, but they are not ready for the 6-7 figure business. You see, when you are running a business that is 6 and 7 figures, you've already got systems, you've got processes, you've probably got a team behind you. There is so much that you need to do. And for you to be able to run all these things, you must have built some muscle in the industry. And if you've not built any muscle, how are you going to carry the weight of doing that? I remember years ago when I first started out in women, elevating women, I quickly, got a team together, and I realized that I couldn't manage the team. I was not team ready. I could run the business, I could do it myself, but I was not team ready. And I kept on falling flat on my face until I realized that I actually need to learn how to be a person that can lead a team. And it's taken me years. I keep on falling down, but somebody, for me, I never give up. And so that's what I just want to say to you, that this is the reason why I've put this foundation course, is that if somebody's going to come on Life as It Can Be, or somebody's going to go out and do their own thing, they need to make sure that they've got everything they need. And it's like somebody who wants, I was sharing this, somebody who wants to have a baby. I said there's 2 ways a baby comes into the world. A baby is either planned for or unplanned for. You either plan, and when you plan for a baby, that means somebody out of the 2 parties had an idea. Or if it's one person who wants to go and have, a baby, with the clinic, the sperm clinic and whatever, somebody thought about it and then voiced it out. So let's say it's to the other party and say, let's have a baby. The other party thinks about it and say, yeah, I'm ready. I won't mind having a baby. So they will sit down. When do we want to have a baby? Do we want to have a baby now? Do we want to have a baby in a few years? There's all this planning stage. There's all this thought pattern. And at the end of the day, they would come to a place where they would say, okay, let's try for a baby now. So between the time they've thought about it and they've taken action is all that planning. And that's exactly what this training is about. It is about the before, the foundation. All the tools that you would need in your bag as you go on your journey in life or your journey in business or both is what this course, Reboot Your Life, is all about. Okay, so I think I've kind of really given us a little bit of an idea of what this is. Now, my Life as It Can Be, these are the models for Life as It Can Be. It's 12 models. It's not in this particular course, but everything is around it. And if anyone who had come to my birthday in November, I kind of talked about it. So I'm not going to talk about it today, but I'm just going to say that these are the 12 models that you are going to meet in the life as it can be. But everything that I'm doing is centered around this. And you will find out that how our whole life as people is already, it's centered around these models. There's no one, like I can pick one. Let me pick just one, flame. Flame is about your love life. And, you know, I remember when I was looking for the word, because as you can all see, they all start with letter F. And I was looking for something around love. And the closest I could come to with something that has letter F was flame. And so flame is your love life, but also it's about you loving yourself as well. So it's not just about you loving somebody else, but also you loving yourself. And so you would see all these things here. And that's what I will be sharing in the Life as It Can Be program, but it's not for here. But it's just, I just wanted everyone to understand why the Reboot Your Life came about. If we are going to work on these areas, we need to be ready to deal with all of them as we go through life. Okay, so what's the duration of this course? It's going to be 12 weeks. That's the duration, is 12 weeks. And the reason why I've done it for 12 weeks is that I really wanted to go into it well. So it's 12 weeks and it's going to be every Tuesday and every Thursday. I have a slide here that I've just kind of missed. But what will you take away? What will you take away from here? I want to believe that you are going to take away information, first of all, that you can use in your everyday life, that you can use in your business. Those are the things that you can take away. It will also give you the opportunity to reflect on your life, to look at where are things working and where are things, and are there things that I need to discard? Are there things in my life that I can improve upon? That is what you're going to take away. You also will get support. The support is you can reach out to me at any time. If you've come on this training, you can reach out to me. If I can help, I will let you know. If I need to signpost you to someone who can help you, I will let you know. I've got every profession that you could think about around me. Some inside Women Elevating Women, some who I had invited to come and speak at one thing or the other. I've kind of got a really big connection of people who I can call upon and they can help. I would tell you that some can just help and some will take payments. So I cannot promise you that they're just going to give this help away for free. So like I said, so the course introduction, of course, is around, and if you had signed up, you would have gotten the course schedule and you will see everything that is there and how we're going to do it. So the areas that we are going to be looking at, this is the week 1 that we are in right now. So of course, again, like I said, the training days are going to be Tuesdays and they're going to be Thursdays. Thursdays are just they're optional. These Tuesday training days, they are essential. If you are going to go through this course, please show up every Tuesday as you can. I know it's, you know, a big commitment, but I promise you that it'll be worth your time. Thursdays is optional. You actually don't need to, but on Thursdays, there will be mastermind sessions from time to time. There will be networking opportunities. There will be hands-on support. So for example, if I say something on a Tuesday that you're not too sure about, you can pop in on a Thursday and you can actually ask questions. And also on Thursdays, from time to time, I will bring in experts that actually can answer some of our questions. I've got a few of them already on standby that are happy to come and share what they know. So if you have any question around life and business, even if you send it to me, I can look at who do I bring in. If we have enough people who are interested in those areas, I can tell you, yes, we can do that. And we can actually bring someone in to do a session. Okay. So the 3 areas we're going to be looking at is, the first part of it is know yourself. And as you can see here, I've said it, get to know yourself. Getting to know yourself is the greatest thing you can do for your life. Many go about their day-to-day lives on trial and error mode without a life blueprint or roadmap. And that's a blueprint and roadmap to help them navigate their lives. And a person can easily end up anywhere but where they truly want to be. Now, in the life as it can be, that is actually where we design the blueprint and the roadmap. So here we would do the preparation, the getting to know yourself, but actually designing the blueprint around those 12 models will actually be in the Life as It Can Be program. But here, this first 4 weeks, we are actually going to be doing get to know yourself, because when you know yourself, you will know what works for you, what doesn't work for you, what you would accept in life, and the things that you won't accept. Okay. So the next 4 weeks after that is prepare yourself. Getting you ready to walk the life you love and enjoy requires preparation. And once you get to know yourself and how you've been wired, it will become easier for you to live life as it can be lived. We'll be looking at different ways that you can prepare yourself for life and or business. Now, preparing yourself is so essential. This is one of the biggest areas that many people leave out. Some people, they've gotten to know themselves, they studied themselves over time, they know what they can accept, what they can't accept. A lot of people, the biggest problem is they don't prep themselves. They don't get themselves ready for opportunities. I was sharing with some young people the other day. I said, why don't you get yourself ready for success? Literally get yourself ready for success. Because at the end of the day, when success comes, you are ready. And we can see it, especially in the sporting world. You will see a lot of sports people, they come in young men, let's take the footballers. Someone that was earning absolutely next to nothing suddenly is introduced to a lot of money because they've got these skills. And they just go boom and just start spending and living a life that is like total chaos. And some of them, unfortunately, maybe get an injury or something happens and that money suddenly stops. And you will find out that many of them, they've not invested, they didn't know how to invest. Because I remember when my husband lost his job and we were given a large sum of money and we were not prepared. That's the first thing that really got me into financial education. Because when we had consumed all that money, the question I asked myself was, what was I supposed to know about money that I did not? And that got me down the road of financial education and all the things that I learned over time. And you can see that that is part of what is in here. And it took me many, many years. Because there were things that I was being taught, things that I was being told that I didn't want to accept. I didn't want to accept it. I didn't want to acknowledge it. I didn't want to believe it was real. I thought there was a shortcut that I can do it. I can go quickly. But no, there is a process. There are things. It's just like somebody, just think about it. No one can build a house and start from the roof. Yeah, you can construct a roof on the ground and then put it on top, but you literally cannot start building a house right from the roof. Just like, so you're coming even with the truck and saying, yeah, I'm putting the roof up first. How is it even humanly possible? Maybe in future, with technology, it might happen, but this time that we are in, it doesn't happen. Everything starts, it doesn't even start at the foundation. It starts before the foundation. And this is what the Reboot Your Life is. This is the start before the foundation, the planning stage, the preparation stage, getting everything ready. And so that's what this is. So the second 4 weeks will be all about prepare yourself. And then the last few weeks will be reboot your life. Once you know yourself and have prepared yourself, then the next step is to reboot your life. So you can lay a better foundation for your progress in life and or business. So you can see, in this Reboot Your Life, you're not even at the foundation stage. You are at the building your muscle stage. You are at thinking about what is it that I really want to do? What do I love? One of the things I do in my day job is I ask people this question. And I say to them, I said, if ever, and I still ask somebody today, and I said, if, for example, everything in your life, and I want you to think about this, I want you to see this, everything in your life is perfect. You've got all the money you need, you've got everything, and somebody says, what would you do? Or maybe let me put it this way better. Somebody comes up to you and says, I am going to take care of you for the next 12 months. You don't need to think about anything. I'll pay all your bills. I'll pay all your rent. Everything is paid for. Anything you think about that you want, I will provide it on one condition: that you go away for 12 months and do what you have always wanted to do all your life. That is the only criteria for me to take over all your responsibilities. You know, just thinking about it is amazing. You know, somebody just comes in and says, you know what, don't worry about nothing. Go away and live the life you really want. What would that be for you? What would it be? If somebody gives you that 12 months to do whatever you like on the planet, would you start your own business? Would you travel around the world? Would you just go into your bedroom, lock the door and sleep for 12 months and say, I just need a rest? What would it be for you? Because when you can define what you really want, then you can reboot your life and start to move in the direction of the things you want. Of course, you want to keep them realistic. So somebody going like, I would like to go to the moon. It's not that it's unrealistic, but you want to look at it. Am I in that place? Do I have the skill? Do I have the knowledge? Very soon, you know, whether it's Elon Musk or Richard Branson, whoever is, you know, getting ready to go to Mars or wherever, if you have the money, you can pay for it. But right now, let's stay within where we are. Having big dreams and great dreams, they are not a bad thing. But what would it be for you? Think about that. And I want you to think about that over the next 1 week. Is if I can dream, what would that big dream be? And are you living that dream? Can you see yourself actually living that dream? Do you see the possibilities of it coming into your life? Can you start, after you reboot your life, can you start to build those blocks in 2021? Maybe you are in a place that you don't like. You know, for some people, maybe you are working or doing a business or something that you actually don't really love. It's not your sweet spot. It's not, you know, for me, when I look at this, you know, reboot your life, putting all these things together, one of my sweet spots is just designing presentations and doing graphics. I love it. I could be up all night doing that. I love it, and it goes in line with who I am. I love being creative. It goes in line. It took me time to find that, but when I did, I just love doing it. I love doing presentations. I love doing inspiring things. And that has brought me to where I am now, and it's going to take me to where I'm going next. Are you doing anything in your life right now that you would say is taking you in that direction? Because if you're not, you're doing yourself a disservice. You're not being true to your inner self. But I am here, and I know that I've got other people around me who can help you. And that's what the mastermind session is for, is so that we can all dream together, you know, big dreams. And then we can then say, okay, I've dreamt now. How do I make this dream real? Would I need to retrain? Would I need to get new skills? Would I need to change direction? Do I need to pack up what I'm doing now? And please don't pack up if you need to earn income. We'll talk about that. so that no one goes and says, Tokunbo said I should leave my business or I should leave my job. No, 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 please don't do that. But I want you to start dreaming so that you can prepare yourself. And that's what that is all about. Okay, so today, I'm just gonna take us into this area. Today's all about introduction and just telling you what this program is about. But I did not want to leave this part out, because let me say something. Before we get started, the other weeks, there's, you know, activities that are going to happen, and at the end of each week, you will see what's going to happen in the next session. But in this session, it was me introducing myself. If you have any questions, anything you want to ask me, you can put it in the chat section. I would kind of have a look at it later. I might not be able to read it now, but in the mastermind session, I will do my best to bring these questions. So if you have any question, anything you want to ask, just put it in the chat section and I will kind of have a look at them and write them down and bring them in on Thursday. Now, for Thursday as well is the same 7:30, and it's the same Zoom link that you've used now. So you can come in and we can have a chat. But today I want to leave you with this. Now, one of the things, if you've attended my events in the past, I always put my events to like, I could say 7:30 to 9:30, and we actually might not do up to 9:30. For me, once I finish talking, that's the end of the event. That's the way I do things. Once we finish talking and I'm done, I don't waffle around. Event is over. If it took us 1 hour, then it took us 1 hour. So if it takes us 1 hour, 30 minutes, but I do my best to keep it within the time I promised, because I know that we all are busy. We have our precious time, and I respect that. But I didn't want you to come in today and just, listen to what the program is going to be about without me leaving something for you. And that's what this is about. But also, it has its reasons for being here. If there's anything I've learned, is that values are so important. Having values. The whole world is in total chaos right now because lots and lots of people have lost their values, or lots of people don't even know about values. And it was so strange. I was listening to John Maxwell, I think that was last week, and he said they've been going into countries and talking about values. And I just sat there looking at him, was like, because I'd already created this slide talking about values. And so when he's also confirmed that he's doing that, I was like, yeah, because let's look at the world that we are living in. It's a world without values, and we need to bring values back into our lives. We need to bring values back into our families. We need to start talking about values. And for this course, for it to be of value to you, we actually need to talk about values. And that's why I've put it into today. And this is where we're going to round up when we are done. So, what are values? They are standards of behavior that guides a person's lifestyle, choices and decisions. It is what you hold most dear to your heart and helps you navigate your day-to-day life, sometimes consciously and at other times unconsciously. Now, what do I mean by sometimes consciously? Some people have actually sat down and been able to define what values they live by, while others unconsciously have either inherited the values of their parents or their guardians, somebody who brought them up, or people around them that they might have, seen. I like, what this person does, and they actually haven't defined the values for themselves. And so when I said consciously, is that, somebody comes up to you and says, oh, let's go rob a bank together. Your values is what's going to say, if you have them or don't have them, you would say, no, you're not even going to think about it. Can you imagine somebody who says, oh, okay, come back next week, let me think about it? Obviously, the values of not robbing a bank is not in you. Because if you know what your values are, you immediately, let me tell you something. There are certain people who know you and know what they would not even bring your way in the first place. Would somebody come to me and tell me that let's go rob a bank? What idea have I given you that would make you think that robbing a bank would be something that I would like to do? What in the world gave you that idea? Actually, curiosity would really make me want to ask that person that, what were you thinking? What have I done in my life that made you think that robbing a bank would be on my to-do list for 2021?
Because you talk about money.
If anyone heard that, that's my son. Damn it, very funny. But yes, so you have to identify what your values are. You really do, because once you know your values, then you will know how to make those life choices, those life decisions. You'll be very quick to make them, and people will not toss you back and forth. So, why are values important? And the reason why I've written all these things down is I wanted to make sure that I don't miss anything out. I can actually start talking to you, but I would miss out some of the most important things. I've sat down and I've written these things and I've read them over and over again, and I feel that it's saying what I want it to say. And a lot of you here, I know I have coaches, I have trainers, I have, consultants, I have different people who are even here today. And I'm really humbled for people who had come on and said, you know what, I want to be a part of this no matter what I'm doing. And, I've got something for those group of people to do in a minute. But values are our life guides and compasses to help us make better choices and decisions. And without them, we will sway towards anything that sounds or feels good at the time. Values help you to be in charge of your own life. It will help you to be in charge of your own life. You will know when to say yes. You would know when to say no. You would know immediately how you are going to navigate your life, because your values are guiding you. They're helping you make those decisions. They're navigating your way. And they are very important. We have seen what's happening around the world. And it's just because some people have no values that they're putting themselves out there. I don't go into politics, so I'm not going to mention, any names. I'm not even going down that route. We all know what's happening in our respective countries, and we are all learning. We are all learning, we are watching. And I hope that what we are seeing would help us make better decisions for ourselves, for our families, and whoever is out there that we get the opportunity to make connections with, okay? So before I actually go into this, I wrote something down, and this is for our coaches and trainers in the house. And I would like you to, put in the comment section so that people can see it. What are values? What do you term as values? What do you think? What does it mean to you? And so if you want to, and this is for everyone as well, if you feel that you've come across something that would help you explain what values are, just type it in the comment section. It would be helpful for us. Like I said, we are all here to learn. I'm here to learn as well. And I've put, how I understand it. And so what I've done here is I kind of went online to look at different types of values. And I've got them here. We are not going to discuss them, so don't be scared that you're seeing all this and saying, oh my God, is this what we're going to go through today? No. What I've done is I actually put together a downloadable document, and I'll be sending this to everyone's emails, and I've listed out the values that go under each of these headings. So you can see here, there are core values. Core values are very important. I'm probably going to touch a little bit about core values, but we have core values, we have spiritual values, societal values, career values, business values, physical values, family values, moral values, relational values, psychological values, personal values, mental values, emotional values, and financial values. And I'm sure when you go online, you will see many more. But I've tried to put a number of these that kind of rule our lives or governs our lives or businesses. I've put them together. And when you receive that download, so if anyone is here and you didn't click on your email, please do, because there will be information that will be coming into your mailbox that you won't receive. So please, 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 please go and check your mailbox. It could be in the spam section. It could be in the junk mail. It could be in promotions, especially for people that use Gmail. You will find a lot of stuff in your promotion section that you can actually get, so that when I send this, I will be sending it like early tomorrow morning. You can have a look at it and start using them to guide your life. So these are the different types of values that you can find out there. And a lot of them, you will see them that they are repeating themselves. So maybe like family and relational, they're going to have cross values. And so you can just look at them and see which ones have you been using, which ones are working for me, which ones do I use consciously, which ones do I use unconsciously, which ones do I need to bring to the forefront so that they can guide me in life and business, and all that. So you will see them when I send them to you as a downloadable product. So just to kind of start rounding up, yes, I am not taking so much of your time. Core values. See, core values are They're the center values, if I would say that. That's the center of who you are. Core values are the deep-seated fundamentals on which your life is based. No matter where you live or what you do for a living, your core values are driving you. Some people know their core values, while others are operating from an inherited family behavior. And remember what I said earlier. You know, when we are all growing up, the way our parents bring us up is how we behave wherever we go. So that's what I mean by inherited values. But the big question is, do you really believe in those values that your parents passed on to you? Because if you do, you will follow them consistently if you believe in them for yourself, not the ones that were imposed upon you as a child. And this is something that is so important. You might think it's not, but for many people, subconsciously, you are fighting against those core values just because your parents tried to ram it down you. And if that is happening, you will find yourself always, in and out of decisions, of choices. Is because you've actually not sat down to identify what your own personal core values are. And this is essential for you to reboot your life, for you to get to know yourself, for you to be able to prepare yourself, for you to do that reboot. You've got to identify your core values. What are those values that drive me? What are those values that are so important to me? What have I inherited from my parents that I believe in myself? I really believe in it. And it drives me, not just because my parents or my guardians or whoever brought me up, not because they pushed me to do it, but I actually believe it for myself. And if you don't believe it, ask yourself why. That's something that you can do. Ask yourself, why don't I believe it? For some people, they don't believe it just because their parents were not their role models. The guardians were not their role models. They were angry or are angry with those adult figures in their lives. And because of that, they don't want anything to do with those values that they've put in them. But take that aside. If those values are good for you, separate those values from those people, from your parents, from your guardians, from whoever raised you. Separate them and say, you know what? I'm not going to attach these values to these people anymore. I need these values for my own life. I need it to drive me forward. So I am not actually going to associate these values with these people anymore. These are good values for me, and I'm going to use them for myself. And so when you start to do that, it makes life so much easier, and you will start to see things shift and change because you've been able to identify values that you want for you. So never underestimate the importance of values. Never, never, please, never underestimate them because they are so important. They are literally the foundation on which you are going to develop, in which you are going to grow. Because once you can identify them, you can start moving forward. So I'm almost coming to the end. And I've got a few activities for us to do. So don't think that I'm not going to give you an activity to do. So this is what you're going to do. You're not doing it here. You're actually taking it away. This is your homework. So from the list of write 5 core values that will guide you. Now you have to receive that list. So when I send you the downloadable document, go through that list. The first page is about the core values. Look through those lists and identify 5 core values that you want to guide you. Some of them might even be something that you're using already, but you might be using them unconsciously. Why are you going to choose these values? Why are these particular values important? Where do you think these values will take you? Recently, I've been doing some coaching with my children, and we came up with, under the Life as It Can Be program, I got, one of them that we've got to that point, You know, I'm working with my children. They're all at different levels, but I think I've gotten to 2 of them. And I'm just going to give you this one as my gift to you from the Life as It Can Be program. And it will tie in with your values, especially your core values. I want you to do this is in your own time, and it can be any time. Have a sheet of paper or a notebook, draw a line through so you have 2 columns, and on one side you write life as it is, and on the other side you write life as it can be. Life as it is, that is as it is now, and life as it can be. And then everything in your life, and that's where those 12 models really come in. You can then start looking at the different areas of your life and say, how is life as it is? How is it now? What does it look like in this area of my life? Let's say we take faith. And under the Life as It Can Be, I have divided faith into 2 areas. For those who believe in God, we will explore faith around God. And people that don't believe in God, they can explore faith in themselves, belief in themselves. And you will take that, what is life like as it is now in that area? And what is life as it can be? What would I like it to be? And when you start writing those down, you start to see what they are. And, this I would explore, totally in the Life as It Can Be program. We would really go into it and dig deep and come up with the answers. So for this one today, your number 1 activity that you're going to take away is from the list that I will be sending you. And if you want to, you can go online and just type in 5 core values, and you will see that. And you can start with that as well. So for people who like to get started immediately, you can go online, just type in core values, and it will pop up. It probably will not be much different from mine. I got them all from the internet as well. And you can do that. So 5 core values that you want to guide you in 2021. Also, explore any of the other values that I'll be sending you into your email. So start to explore them. All the other values, they're all going to be there. Start to have a look at them, because it's a really large list. So please don't be overwhelmed when you see it. You can take them one day at a time. As I've been coaching my children, I said to one, your life is not a sprint. It's not 100 meters race. Your life is a marathon. Your development, your growing is a marathon. But I said also, it's not the marathon that happens, on the track, where you maybe run around the track 5 times. It's not that kind of marathon. All our lives, they are cross-country marathons, long distance marathons, where like we have the London Marathon, people going through towns and cities and all that. That is what our life is like. And things will be changing, because you see, when somebody's running a cross-country marathon, or that kind of London Marathon, the landscape will keep on changing as you go through different areas. Maybe one time you're going and you're running through the highly populated area, where what people would term where the masses live. And then sometimes you can run through, the high rise people that got all the money, and you will see that the landscapes will change. And that's basically what our lives are like. The way when you are running, when you're on this journey, this Reboot Your Life is just a little tiny dot in everything about your life. But when you start looking at your life as a cross-country marathon, you will take it easy. You will not want to rush. The 100-meter dash is boom, and they're at the end of the line, and then they've got the person who won, yay! And probably, just like Usain Bolt, will be the top person for a few years until their body can't run anymore, and then they're gone. But our lives, as far as we are on this side of the universe, take it as a cross country. You are learning, you will fall, you will rise again, you will learn again. We are living in some of the, I would say, the best and the worst times of life, but the best in the form of information. Anything you are looking for under the sun, you can find it. The reason why there are coaches and trainers and people like us is that we can bring all of them together in one place at one time and take you on a journey that will, lay a better foundation than you trying to look for it, because that cross country can take a long time. Okay, so that is what I would like you to do. That's your activity. You can bring it on Thursday in the mastermind group. We will talk about it, or you can, bring it at any of the mastermind sessions and we can look at them in future. So basically, let me see what's left. I've kind of gone through everything. For anyone who wants to stay behind, it's part of what I do. If you want to hang out, after and just hang out with me. I probably won't be answering any questions. We can just have a chat generally. There's a lot of you that I've not seen in a long time. Some of you I haven't seen this year. So I just want to say, if you do want to stay behind, please do so. I will stay here till the last person leaves, basically. Let me put it that way. So next week is going to be week 2, and that's when we will really get started. We are going to start with the vision statement and the mission statement. So if you've not actually written out, and we're not talking about, vision for 2021, we're talking about life vision. We're actually going to really work on it and have this vision statement. We most likely would not have the complete vision statement, but I will show you how to do it. And over the 12 weeks, we can keep on bringing it back in our masterminds until we actually get it right. And it's going to be something we love. But next week, week 2, we are going to start that. So that is me done. This is the intro. And I just want to say a really big thank you to everyone. Adenike, I just want to say big thank you for assisting me. You are my co-host tonight. I just really want to appreciate you. Thank you for doing that. I also want to thank everyone that has shown up. I actually have not looked at the chat section, so please bear with me. I do apologize. I will look at it, a little bit later. If there's any questions, any comments, anything in there. Also, we are talking about life and business. If there's anything that you would like to know, please pop them in there. We can put them in. The more people that ask very similar questions makes me see that these are areas that you would like information on. And I can go out there and get someone who's an expert and bring them in to one of our mastermind sessions, and we can actually flesh it out. So that is me all done. So I just want to say big thank you. I've kind of kept it to an hour. I wanted to see how it would go. I knew that this one would not be that long, in the sense that it's more of an introduction, but I didn't want to say, oh, it's going to be 1 hour and then I go over time. So it's good for me to still keep it within 7:30 to 9:30. And that's, a good one for people who are hosting their own events, doing things like this. It's better to under than over, because you just don't know what's going on in people's lives. But I just want to say a really big thank you. Please show up on Thursday if you can. If you need support in any of the things I've talked about, whether it's around values, whether it's about understanding what this program and this course would do, how it will help you, please do show up. Because any of the sessions that you miss, I'm not going to, somebody asked me if I'm going to do a recording. Yes, there will be a recording for anyone that showed up. Anyone that did not show up are going to miss things. And when you miss things, you won't get the best value. But what I've also done, I'm a businesswoman. So anybody who wants the recording, who was not here and wants the recording, I'm going to actually sell the recording. This recording is only free for people who come into this space. For anybody else, it's actually going to be a paid video. I'm going to do the video, put it on into a video and put it where people can actually go watch it. But where they will watch it, they will have to pay for it. One of the things I'm teaching is, how do we do business? How do we make money? How do we make income? This is part of it. And for you, any of you who want to do things that I'm doing, let me know, get in touch. We can kind of, do it's all that is all paid for. And I will be honest with you, I'm not going to tell you that it's free. It's not. This is the only free thing that I have, apart from if people come in and watch my videos and hear me talk. But this one, I'm putting, it's a gift. It's just something to get people started. Because I knew when I started out, what I'm going to be showing you in the next 12 weeks, I didn't get that. And I wish I did. And if I'm wishing that somebody did something for me, then why don't you do it yourself? And that's exactly what I've done. So I just want to say a really big thank you. Thank you for staying. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate everyone. Yeah, I think that's basically me all done. And so